So if this shoe was an emoji, which emoji do you think it would be? Well, I can tell you this much, it's not going to be a smiley face or a high five. No, 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 no. So this is the Kanadia 8 from Adidas. This is Adidas's bread and butter go-to trail shoe. It is not one of the Ultra Boost versions. This has what they describe as cloud foam here, which is really just their version of EVA. So it's a fairly traditional construction. You've got a very grippy looking outsole there. 275 grams, so it's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's kind of what you expect in that kind of range. You've got an 8mm heel to toe drop, it's neutral arch support, and well, yeah, I mean, Adidas have added a few touches to try and make it interesting. You've got this overlay section here, you've got them trying to give it obviously authenticity by putting a stamp on the back there of sort of north and east and altitude, which, to be frank, whenever I get a company trying to make out like it's really authentic because they put a stamp on the back, I immediately start doubting how authentic it is, because stuff that's really authentic doesn't need this kind of junk stamped on it. So let's get into what's great and what's not so great. And there's not much that's great. The only thing I can really say that's great about this shoe is that I've seen it heavily discounted and it's cheap. When I say cheap, I mean it's just, yeah, it's just discounted a lot. How much? Well, I've seen it online today, I checked, and at the time of recording, £38 GB pounds. The question you've got to ask yourself for a current model shoe to be discounted that much is why? And I think the why is because it's not very good. To be frank, let's get into what's not so great, and we're going to be on this section for quite a while. For a start, this stupid overlay here, it's stitched here so you can't get in easily to clean up the debris, which you hopefully will be able to see on the video. So all these little black dots, that's mud and dirt where I took it for a race yesterday, and it gets in here and then you can't easily get it out. And there's no purpose for these overlays, they're just there because someone thought they looked good. You could have easily had it just, well, like the way every other shoe manufacturer does, but they are successful in trapping dirt and rubbish and debris, which is just kind of stupid. This whole section all around here, around the whole back of the shoe, this is solid. There is no breathability here whatsoever. The only way that you're going to get a breathable section really is this top section here. But it's not just that it's going to run hot, which it does. When water gets in here, which it will do very easily, there's nowhere for the water to go. It doesn't drain at all well because all of this is solid. You've got a little bit coming through here, but this is double skin because of this stupid overlay. So the water just sits in the shoe for ages when you're running, and that's just not very nice. Also, there's no sort of extra gusseting to the tongue, so every debris and water and everything can get into the top really easily, and then, as we say, not escape. Because you've got this kind of supposedly funky design here as well, you have to get the tongue in exactly the right place, or else you get exposed sections here, and again that just allows more debris and junk to get into the shoe. I think we can say this shoe feels like it was designed by marketing people and not by people that actually go running, and especially not by people who go trail running. And would be amazed if they actually gave, once they come up with a prototype for this, if they gave it to some of their trail runners and say, well, go and run through some wet stuff, through some muddy stuff, through all kinds of terrain, and come back and tell us how you get on. I'm sure they just skipped that whole section, because it doesn't take long for running with this thing, especially in a race. And I used it in an obstacle course race yesterday, where you realise it's just pants. There just really is. I thought having this decent amount of EVA, the decent amount of foam there, was going to give me a nice cushion ride, because it feels cushioned when you just kind of walk around in the shoe casually. But very quickly you realise, A, there's very little support inside the shoe, and B, after a while, you realise it's just not that comfortable. It's almost like the EVA is something they just plonked in there and thought, yeah, that'll do. We've got some foam in there. Doesn't matter if it's shaped particularly well. Doesn't matter if it works with the shoe particularly well, if it all works in harmony. No, it's just not that comfortable. The fit, I am normally a UK size 11. This is a size 12. I had read that it runs a little bit small, so originally I tried a size 11.5, thinking, well, that covers most things. No, even then, still didn't fit. I had to go up to a UK size 12 to actually make it fit, but then it gave me the right length of shoe, but this section never felt particularly comfortable. So even though I'm pulling on the laces and trying to dial in the laces to get this kind of midfoot section to work properly, it doesn't. So none of the shoe felt like it was working in harmony with my foot. Didn't matter what I did with the laces, it just, no, bad. So really what we have is a shoe that takes in water easily, doesn't shed water easily, doesn't fit very well, isn't very comfortable on the long run. The grip was okay, but nothing special. The only positive thing I can say about this shoe is that, as I said at the beginning, is it's fairly cheap. But really, there are much better shoes that you can buy. This to me, yeah, this is a 1-star shoe. In terms of what emoji it would be, as the original question was, well, I think we now know what type of emoji it would be. Yes, one of these. Don't buy this. There are just so many other shoes on the market that are way better than this. If you want to have a trail shoe to wear casually, yeah, but why would you want to do that? Anyway, yeah, this is rubbish. I'll see you on the next one.